I decided to get two more sources for the as proof that James Cameron owns the rights to Alita. I have here one from Kotaku and one from Inquirer.net. And I'm only doing this simply because maybe some people don't feel too good about the last two sources that I gave. Now I have to give Gen X Strikes Back credit for bringing this one to my attention from the Inquirer, and it is on how Robert Rodriguez actually had to pry Alita from James Cameron's hands. Um, this story, I'm just going to give you the short and sweet. He went to Cameron, and when Cameron was early in development back in 2005 for Alita, he went to Cameron and he convinced him to let him direct the movie. Sorry if you can hear the noise in the background. So here, let's see. I should have had the place pulled up. Sorry about this. It's right here. All right. So Rodriguez went to Cameron and convinced him. One of the things that he had to do, he basically proved himself worthy by rewriting the script that James Cameron had about like 600 pages or something. And when he got it down to, I believe it was 100 something pages, and he kept, I wish I had the original article that I read this from. It had much better detail than this one does. But he impressed Cameron so much with how he was able to sort of narrow or get the story down to within a range that you can actually put in one single movie, and yet he kept all the parts that Cameron loved. So he proved himself worthy. Cameron wasn't going to give this movie to anybody. He wasn't just going to give it to any old body. He was going to do it himself, and if he couldn't do it himself because he was the only person that he thought was right to do it, but since he couldn't, and if he couldn't do it himself, he was just not going to do the movie. And that's how Cameron felt about Alita. So that tells you just how much Rodriguez impressed him, and it tells you just how much Cameron wants to protect Alita. So here's the quote though. This is from Rodriguez. I couldn't believe he was going to show me stuff from that. This is speaking of the fact that Cameron had already began working on Alita back in like 2004, 2005. Let me zoom in a little bit more. He even has some rough CGI done as well. But so I didn't know he had done work on it. I thought he just had the rights. He showed me a bunch of scripts he had. Then he showed me something that he always makes before doing a project. He does an art reel. So in 15 minutes you get a summary of the whole story. So I just read a little bit extra so that you can get an idea of what he was talking about. So here's one confirmation that Cameron had the rights. This is from, once again, straight from Rodriguez's mouth. And in this article by Kotaku about from a game designer who was originally going to work on a Battle Angel Alita game, he goes into detail about how Cameron got the rights. And once again, I didn't find the spot before I started the video. I'll pause it and find it now. Okay, it was actually in the first paragraph. I just, for some reason, forgot where it was. So, Alita Battle Angel finally made it to cinemas this year, long after James Cameron first bought the rights and tried to make the movie in 2005. So, this is the second source that I have confirming what I told you from the other websites. Now, what I also did was, just as a little bonus here, I followed a link. Oh, if I could find this link. Here it is. I followed this link here to this page, which talks a little bit about what Cameron was doing back then when he first started working on it. So I just want to read some of this real quick, and then I have one other thing I want to share with you. So Cameron talks about Battle Angel in an interview with NPR about his Aliens of the Deep IMAX documentary. James Cameron was asked about his next feature movie, Battle Angel. Now, this was posted, as you can see, in 2004, in November the 22nd. That was a long time ago. So Cameron definitely had this in work for a while, and this was all his. This was all his. So where was I? In 2003, Cameron confirmed that Battle Angel was in pre-production, and in the recent NPR interview, he states that Battle Angel, we're in pre-production right now on a project called Battle Angel, which is something I've been working on for several years. And we're just finishing up the shooting draft right now. We've been designing it. It's a big science fiction film. A couple things that would be interesting about this project: even though it's a live action film, the main character will be done with CG animation. And the second thing that's interesting is that we'll be shooting it in 3D using the stereo imaging system that we've been developing for documentaries. Now, oh yeah, here's the part that I want to read too. In the past, Cameron has stated that he would like to do more than one Battle Angel movie. So he would like to do more than one. He's definitely hoping to do more than one. And that Motorball, a central plot point of the third part of the Gundam manga, sorry, I had to move something, might make his way into the plot towards the second Battle Angel movie. So the Motorball was going to be central, or at least it was going to make its way into the plot towards the second movie. But we got part of that at the end of the first movie. So either I'm thinking the second movie might be filled with a lot of Motorball, or maybe just towards the beginning of the second movie will be about have a lot of Motorball, and maybe towards the end of the second movie they may start doing something else from later mangas. But this tells you that he really wanted they really wanted a Motorball in this, to be in one of these two movies, the first or the second one. Now, another brief thing that I want to share here. This is easy to find, but the DVD release or the DVD and Blu-ray release date is estimated for May 2019. I wish it was a little bit earlier than that, but you know, whatever, gotta wait. And there is something else that I want to share. Well, yeah, okay. So this is a tweet from Challenger at ChallengerST on Twitter, and I have to say that this is really just rumor. I have no way of verifying anything that is in these clips, but I'm just going to read it to you and let you hear what's in it, because I think if it's true, it's really good news for ALITA. But I have no way of verifying if it's true or not, so it's really just rumor. Okay, just rumor. So I hope you can see this. Let me see if I can magnify it at all. So a quick happy thought. Wait, first let me start up here. Okay, quick opinion on ALITA's box office I found on Facebook. Credit to Eddie Garrett. Alright, sorry I had an interruption. Okay, so a quick happy thought. I've helped a lot of people write business plans, and no one writes a business plan where they project numbers, and even if the numbers are exceeded, the business fails anyway. All movies have detailed business plans. ALITA was foreseen as a movie trilogy franchise, if it could just justify its first installment. The only solid number anyone has is that Fox wanted 30 million over the President's Day weekend, and they got 42.5. ALITA has exceeded the initial box office money that the business plan said it needed to project out as successful franchise. I think it should be as a successful franchise. That's what that amounts to. That's what exceeding your projected sales mean. The project is a success. If I can read this without this thing blocking the way. All right. I like to guess at the numbers that like everyone else, but it is the tail wagging the dog to do so. Don't guess what the total budget was and then guess if it succeeded. Look at whether or not it met, exceeded, fell short of expectations, and then base your budget guesses on that. You scroll down a little bit. Okay, so next image. ALITA overperformed as its box office home sales merchandise was plotted out for a trilogy movie franchise over likely the 10-year model. ALITA has outperformed the business plan projections for success because no one writes a business plan with numbers that fail. Doesn't happen. Stay positive, guys. Okay, so once again, I guess this was found on Facebook, and I cannot say that this is really trustworthy or not, but I mean, if it is, if it is true, that would be great. But it's just a rumor, you know. For now, I guess it doesn't hold any weight, but it's nice. It's a nice little. I'll post a link to this so you can look at it too, and maybe give it a like or whatever. But it's nice to have, even if it may not be true. But all right, so that's all I wanted to share. So thanks for watching.